They say the quarterback position is the most important in all of sports. Judging by how many signal callers have single-handedly changed a franchise, we tend to agree. For years and years, some teams did nothing but lose, but then came along a legendary quarterback to save the day. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we present 10 NFL quarterbacks who changed their franchise. And a huge shout out to David Trevino for suggesting this list. We hope you enjoy it. And if you do, feel free to leave your ideas for lists down in the comments section. You never know, we might use them and give you a shout out. Drew Brees. Drew Brees spent his first 5 seasons with the San Diego Chargers, but a bad shoulder injury and the team's acquisition of Phillip Rivers led to Brees hitting the 2006 free agent market. Needing a franchise quarterback, the New Orleans Saints signed Brees to a 6-year contract worth $60 million. The result? A lot of good stuff. Brees has been among the most consistent quarterbacks in a Saints uniform. He led the franchise to a Super Bowl 44 championship and won the game's MVP award. Brees has led the league in passing yards 7 times and in passing touchdowns 4 times. Brees also took the Saints to the playoffs in 2006, 10, 11, 13, and 17. We'd say he turned around the long-time losing franchise quite a bit, wouldn't you? Brett Favre. The gunslinger was drafted by the Atlanta Falcons in 1991, but he never got a chance to shine. They traded him to the Green Bay Packers after the season, and the rest, as they say, is history. Favre won 3 NFL MVP awards and led the Packers to a pair of Super Bowl appearances. That included a Super Bowl 31 victory over the New England Patriots. Favre led the Packers to the playoffs in 11 of his 16 seasons with the franchise. They only had 1 losing season, and they reached 4 NFC Championship games. You did well, Brett. Terry Bradshaw. When Bradshaw was drafted first overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1970, the franchise hadn't made the playoffs in 8 years, and they had 8 consecutive losing seasons. When Bradshaw took over, the Steelers changed forever. After a rough couple of seasons, Bradshaw led the Steelers to 4 Super Bowl championships in the 70s. Steeltown became the first dynasty in the Super Bowl era. Pittsburgh missed the postseason just 4 times under Bradshaw's watch. And with those 4 Super Bowl rings, he's forever remembered as the man who changed the franchise. Otto Graham. The Cleveland Browns were born in 1946. Otto Graham was there for the beginning, and the best quarterback of his era immediately put his franchise on the football map. Graham led the Browns to 4 AAFC championships. When the Browns joined the NFL, Graham didn't stop winning. He and the Browns won the 1950, 54, and 55 NFL championships. Graham won 3 MVP awards and was easily the best quarterback of his decade. A true winner and champion. John Elway. Elway was drafted first overall by the Baltimore Colts in 1983. But he refused to trade for them and was dealt to the Denver Broncos. And boy, did that ever change things in the Mile High City. After decades of mediocrity, Elway wasted no time in turning the Broncos into a powerhouse. They reached 3 Super Bowls in a 4-year span in the 80s, but lost every single one of them. But Elway finally got it going late in his career. He led the Broncos to consecutive Super Bowl championships in the 97 and 98 seasons. Elway only had 2 losing seasons as the Broncos quarterback. That's just how good he was. Bart Starr. Well, it took a while to get things going, but patience was a virtue for Packers fans. Bart Starr finally turned the franchise around after a frustrating first 4 years. But when all was said and done, Starr became one of the most prolific passers of the late 50s and entire 60s decade. The 5-time NFL champion also led Green Bay to Super Bowl 1 and 2 victories. He won the 1966 NFL MVP award too. Starr turned the Packers into the model NFL franchise. Guys like Favre and Aaron Rodgers were able to follow suit after Starr set the bar so high for future Packers quarterbacks. Johnny Unitas. After being drafted and cut by the Pittsburgh Steelers, Unitas joined the Baltimore Colts in 1956. Suffice to say, the move completely changed the NFL landscape and the Colts organization. Unitas was by far the top quarterback of his generation. The 3-time MVP led the league in passing yards and touchdowns 4 times. He guided the Colts to a trio of NFL championships and led them to a Super Bowl 5 title. Unitas really was the top QB of his era, and there's no telling how different history would be if the Colts never picked him up. Peyton Manning. The Colts had been a pretty awful franchise for the better part of the past 20 years, but things changed when they drafted Peyton Manning with the first overall pick in 1998. The Sheriff led the Colts to a Super Bowl 41 championship, plus another appearance in Super Bowl 44. The Colts made the playoffs in 11 of Manning's 13 seasons. They won double-digit games every year from 2002 to 2010. And how much did Manning change the franchise? So much that when he missed the entire 2011 season, Indy was the league's worst team. That led to them drafting generational QB Andrew Luck with the first pick. Oh, and let's credit Manning for changing the Denver Broncos franchise as well. 4 AFC West Division titles, 2 AFC championships, and a Super Bowl 51 victory. The ultimate franchise changer, he did it for 2 teams. Joe Montana. The 49ers drafted Montana in the 3rd round of the 1979 draft, and Joe Cool didn't need long to put the NFL on notice. Montana led the 49ers to their first Super Bowl championship in just his 3rd season, but that was only the beginning. Montana led San Francisco to 4 championships throughout the 80s and won 2 MVP awards. And to think if he didn't get replaced by Steve Young, Montana could have won even more championships. Oh well, 4 rings and the legacy of changing a franchise around is more than good enough. And finally, Tom Brady. Nobody thought much of anything when the Patriots drafted Brady with the 199th pick in 2000, but that kind of changed NFL history forever. When Drew Bledsoe got hurt in the 2001 season, the Patriots appeared hopeless, but Brady took over and led arguably the greatest dynasty in NFL history. He led New England to 5 Super Bowl championships and 8 appearances in the big game altogether. Brady also won 4 Super Bowl MVP awards and won his 3rd league MVP in 2017. The Patriots haven't had one losing season with Brady as a starter. Talk about franchise changing. What other quarterbacks changed their franchises? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video and you're not subscribed yet. And turn on your new video notifications down there while you're there by clicking the bell. Until next time, tune in to Total Pro Sports for more cool videos every single day.